Hi, everybody. It is Becky Livingston from Penn Heel Marketing, and today I want to talk to you about Google AdWords and the ad setup process. We have another video that we did about actually doing keyword research, creating advertisements, the text part, doing the budgeting, all of that stuff. So, this is the next part of all that. You've done your research, and now you're ready to go in and start doing the ads. So, the first thing that we want to do when we get in there is you want to go to ads.google.com. You want to go right up here to ads.google.com and you're going to log into your AdWord account. If you don't have an AdWords account, now's a great time to create one. If you don't have a Gmail account, now is a great time to create one. And the reason I suggest that is because a lot of times people at firms will use a firm related email address to create their the Google account. But then what happens if that person no longer does that job, or they move on to another firm, or they win the lottery? That email address is then tied to that AdWords account. By creating a Gmail account for the firm, you can share that Gmail account with other people on the team, and there's no break in the email process. What if the firm changes the domain name, for example? That's going to change the email process. So create that Gmail account just to make sure that you can get into your Google Ads and your Google Analytics accounts. First thing you'll do, ads.google.com. Then once you sign in, you're going to come over here to the left side and you're going to choose campaigns and click on the plus button. The plus button is going to allow you to create a new campaign. The first thing you want to think about is what the goal of your campaign is. In our case, 9 times out of 10, we're going to be driving website traffic to our website from our ads. There are some other options here, but for this one, we're just going to focus on website traffic. And we're going to choose where our ads are going to run. Most of the time, we're using the search engine. So that means when you go to google.com and you type in a phrase, ads show up there. That's the search platform. The display network is Google's other platforms like YouTube, Gmail, and 248 other platforms that they have where your ads could be displayed. And some of the other ones are more specific. So we're not going to actually look at those today. We're going to choose the search network. I could put in my company's URL if I wanted to, and then I click continue. When we were doing our research, we said, is there a secondary level of what we're going to be running our ads for? For example, if we were doing tax ads, that'd be our campaign topic is taxes. The secondary level is individual taxes and business taxes. So those would be ad groups underneath of the campaign. Right now we're talking about the campaign level, what's the overarching concept, and this is going to be bookkeeping. We're going to use our search and our display network. If you uncheck the display network, look, you'll get a little note here from Google saying, don't miss the opportunity to reach 3 million more people by using our display network. It doesn't cost any more money to use the display network than to not use it. So why not use it? 3 million more people is 3 million more people. Next thing you want to look at is show settings. You definitely want to do this because you want to determine and identify when your ads are going to start running. I'm going to run these ads in February. I don't have any additional campaign URL options. I don't have any dynamic search ads, but I do want to schedule my ads. I don't want them running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I want them running 5 days a week, 7 a.m. To about 9 p.m. I could shorten that. I could say 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Now, this is military time. So it's not 7 to 7, it's 7 to 19 hours is 7 p.m. So just keep that in mind. You're working on military calendar here. The next spot is you're targeting your audience geographic location. Now, we already did our research and we've identified we want to focus our advertisements in the Boston area. So we're going to type in Boston and we're going to choose Massachusetts. And then we're going to pick the location options. Now, you definitely want to take a look at this because you only want the presence, people who are geographically located in the region you've chosen, not people who are looking for information about the region you've chosen. Maybe they're traveling, maybe they're going to a ball game, maybe they're going to an event and it's in the Boston area. You don't want your ads showing up for those people. You want your ads to show up for the people who are regularly in your targeted location. Make sure your language is set to English if that's the language you want your ads to show up in. We don't have any additional audience information to add to this ad. And we're saying, what's our dollar amount going to be? When we did our keyword research and we looked at the best performing keywords in the Boston area, we said, okay, the average cost per click is going to be $4.21. We're running our ads for 20 days. How many clicks do we want in a day and how much is our budget? We could say, let's say our budget is $140. Divided by 20 days, it's how much money, right? $140 divided by $20 a day. I'm sorry, divided by $5 a day will give me about $25. So my budget's going to be $25 each day that I'm spending over 20 days. I want my bidding to be based on clicks, not conversions. And the campaign, thank you, Google, will be using a maximum click bid strategy. That means Google is going to maximize the number of clicks your ads get. It's going to adjust and optimize your ads for you so you don't have to do it. We want to click here and look at some more settings just to make sure. The conversions, we don't need to deal with that because we're not doing the website leads as our goal. Ad rotation, yes, I want Google to maximize my ad rotation so I don't have to do it. I could change that and say, oh, rotate the ads evenly. I want to make sure they're all exposed to the same level. I could say, oh, don't optimize it. I'll do it myself. That's great if you want to come in here and poke at this thing every day. But I let the machine do it. Google knows what it's doing. It knows how to make the ads appear. So I'm going to let them optimize for the best performing ads. The next section that you want to look at are your site link extensions. It doesn't cost any more money to put these in, and you get a 15% higher click-through rate when you use them. So site link extensions are additional items in your ad that link on your website. For example, maybe you do payroll services. You can add that and then add a link to your payroll services. Maybe you are a QuickBook Pro. You can add a link to that. Maybe you want to do Contact Us and send them over to your Contact Us page. So you could do that. And then you would click Save when you have the site extensions that you want in there. The next option are callout extensions. Now, these are not links. These are just phrases that show up with your ad. For example, maybe you have 35 years in business. Maybe you offer remote services. Maybe you offer electronic tax filing, etc. You could put anything in here. These phrases don't link. It's more for branding than anything else. Doesn't cost any more to include them. And then the last one is the call extension. You can include your firm's phone number. Doesn't cost any more to have this option available. This is great in the mobile version of the ads because people can actually click on the call button and it will actually call your firm. So we're going to leave that extension in there, phone number. Save and continue. So our ad group, remember I was talking about tax, individual, business. This is your ad group. So we only have one ad group for our bookkeeping program. Come back over here and grab this URL for this company. You would use your own company's URL, of course. And then there's the keywords. Now, we did some research already, and we know that our keywords are going to be these best performers in the Boston area. This is what was left after about 1,200 keywords that were initially given to us. So we're actually going to put the keywords in there that we've already researched. We're going to put quotes around those keywords. The reason we do that is because we want our ads to show up for people who are looking for these phrases, not the individual words. So, for example, if I were just to put the word bookkeeping in here, my ad would show up for people searching on bookkeeping embezzlement, bookkeeping for criminals, bookkeeping services for small businesses. Why is bookkeeping so hard? Bookkeeping classes, bookkeeping courses, bookkeeping jobs. So that's why we want to have some phrasing around what we want people to search for. In this case, for example, we have online bookkeeping. If someone were to type in online bookkeeping for small business owners, your ad would show up. Online bookkeeping for restaurants, your ad would show up. Online bookkeeping for entrepreneurs, your ad would show up. CPAs near me, your ad would show up. That kind of thing. So there's some great options here when you're looking at the phrases. And down here is a little note from Google that says keyword with quotes is a phrase match. We're going to save and continue. This is where we actually start typing in our text ads, which we did in the other video and in our research. So here's that URL that we had. I'm going to copy and paste in some of the headlines that we chose. If you don't use the headline generator that we used in the other video, what you're looking at here is typing in terms and phrases, but Google has a very specific character limit on each of these areas within the ad. So you have to be able to write short. So here's just some very basic language. We already tested it out in Karuya, where it actually started to build out the ad so we could see it. And you can see you have 3 headline options. It's starting to build out the ad over here on the right-hand side. And we're now going to add our description. And that's probably the hardest part of it all, is getting this description to fit in here. You only have 90 characters to work with. So you have to be very careful about how you use this. And as you can see, my ad is starting to get built out over here on the right. There's the phone number. That's the mobile version of the ad. Here's the desktop version, which also has my phone number on it. Here's what it would look like in the display network, for example, on YouTube, in Google, Gmail, in many of their other product lines. It also shows up over here. So we've got that option. We say done, we'll create the next ad. We have another set of headlines, bookkeeping services, Boston area accountant. We'll put that in there. We're going to say stop the struggle. Yeah, it can be tough doing bookkeeping. And we've got our information in there. Again, you can see it's being built out. We're going to say save and continue. We have 2 text ads in here now. What you're going to see now is, yes, Google says there's going to be a low traffic expected. We did research on this. We know what to expect because we did that research. It also says at least 3 ads in your campaign. I agree. When I'm starting a new campaign, I usually put in 9 text ads, 6 to 9, depending on where I'm going with this and how many ad groups I have. But generally, I'm doing at least 6 to 9, only because it gives Google more options to display the best performing ad. It also gives me the opportunity to see what most people will click on. So definitely take a look at some of the suggestions. And then it gives me an overview of what's happening. We're running the ads February 1 through 28 in the Boston area. All languages, it says, even though it's only going to be shown in English. $25 a day. Our goal is website traffic, and we're trying to maximize our clicks. I will click publish. Because I don't start this until February 1st, the campaign is pending. It's right here, it's pending. I have an opportunity to come over here and look at everything I just built in this campaign. There's my 2 ads. They are under review, and it says not eligible. It says that because the campaign hasn't started yet. It will go under review on February 1st, and Google will look at the ads to make sure they're right. If they're disqualified, you'll get an email in the Gmail account or business email account that you have to be able to fix it. I can also look at my settings. I was a little worried about the English thing. It says English right there, so we're good to go. I can look at my demographics. There's many things I can do in here. I can turn things on. I can turn things off for the campaign. So let's say for age, I don't want 18 to 24-year-olds or 65 plus year olds. I can check those and say exclude from the group. I can do that with gender. I can do that with household income. I can say, oh, maybe I don't want these two groups. I can exclude them from the group. So there's a few options. I can see all of the keywords I put in here. I can put in negative keywords if I wanted to. Negative keywords are words I absolutely do not want my ad to show up for. For example, jobs, um, exams, tests, certification, CPE. There's many things I don't want my bookkeeping ads to show up for. I can put those words in here just like I did before. So that's actually how you run and create your first ad campaign. So when you're thinking about your ad campaign, you have lots of options to address things and do things differently and put in some different kinds of ads. You can adjust things once you get them started. But if you have any problems, give us a call. We're here to help out. We do Google advertising all the time, among some other services that we have here. And in the meantime, have some fun with your Google ads. Watch the research video if you're interested in learning about how to find the right keywords, how to create a Karuya ad, all that kind of stuff. Take a look at that one as well. In the meantime, have a great day, and I will talk to you guys soon.